All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this morning with an awesome short message. Um, I was listening to a Hebrew Israelite elderly man, and I got to find out, oh, was that a video from years ago? It might have been. Let me check into that. I just thought about that. That could have been, I think it is. Matter of fact, come to think of it, it could have been a video that was 2003 of an elderly Hebrew Israelite man who wanted to rebunk the Hebrew Israelite. And I think he did a pretty good job in doing so. But the way that he did it was to bring the light in onto darkness. So I found that very interesting. And I listened to him, and I didn't get to listen to all of it, but I'm going to do it today. And I'm not going to bring that page to you or that individual. Being so, I realize what for me is for me, okay? And that which Yah will suffer me to bring forth, I just glorify him in that and that alone. And when he there, everything is not for everybody, okay? Even though when Yah created everything, he created it as if it were and should have been for everybody, but being so, he knew who everybody was and who everybody is and who everybody's going to be, because he orchestrated it before the foundation of the world. Everybody placed in their category. But this listening to this man, I realized that there are some areas we must salute the fact that we simply don't know. Mhm. I listened to him, and I heard him go over many things, but I realized that there's a lot of things he knew not. And that's why I say it's important for a unity of everyone in the body, a unity of all the gifts and all the purpose and all the chosen, and those who have been chosen for this, all into a oneness. And I, Sister Deborah, like to blow a trumpet out there to you that are out there, the Hebrew Israelites. You are to go out and make a difference in other Hebrew Israelites. You remember how Sister Deborah said 100% of the Hebrew Israelites, especially the tribe of Judah, uh, out of 100, you might get 10% that knows that they are Judah, and they are Judah, and that they are Israel. And out of the 100%, only 10% is aware and know that they are. And then out of the 10%, only probably 6%, uh, 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 not even six, are walking therein, okay, in the truth of the whole matter. So it's just showing you that that leaves a great number of Hebrew Israelites that's out here that needs to be ministered to, and the light need to be cut on. Okay, this light that cuts on is not a light that saves and bring salvation, or to bring someone out of the lake of fire to the eternal life. It's just our purpose. This is what we are to be laboring down here for, is to labor, is to be a servant to the Most High Yah, to work in the body of Hamashiach, to get information to individuals that needs to know A to B. Truly they might not make it to C or D or E, but if they can just move from A to B, they'll be okay. See, because y'all got this from one end to the other. So I believe our purpose in being the servants of Yah is to serve on Yah's behalf the body of Hamashiach and those that are in the body. Now, what I come to understand is something that's just too powerful, really, for me to speak. Really, it really is, because people are not going to. They can't grip the basic, let knows what I'm about to say, but it's still okay. I'm going to go on and do what the Spirit is saying. Plant the seed, Deborah. Just plant the seed, Deborah. Hey, just plant the seed. And a lot of times, that's what we should keep in mind, is just to plant the seed and let one water it and let Yah do the increase. So when I think of all the videos, I feel that I've planted seeds of thousands of seeds, and in hope that the seeds that represent the spiritual seeds, those that are walking in the Spirit, those that are of spirit and truth, those that are of the light, those that are of the spiritual seed of Yah, will sprout up. But it's still yet Yah's will to do the increasing. You see what I'm saying? And he's increasing them from the inside out, not from the outside in. So these platforms can't give it to you. They can't make you, they can't break you. Okay. It's something that is within, that Yah has to restore or bring to a level of understanding the light, spirit, and truth. And we are in the midnight hour, and I don't know if it's the will of Yah. From what I can discern, him constantly telling me it's finished, it's over. To me, I believe that pin needle of light that's in you still represent the light itself. It has to manifest, it has to brighten. And if it's not in you, it's not for you. Okay. And that tells also the whole overall, the whole story. Okay. Of spirit and truth. Now, what I want to talk about, something this man spoke on, and I loved his message because he broke down men, MEN, and what Yah had invested in their, he called it not their womb, he called it scrotums. I think that's what he said, scrotums. He said the covenant is in the scrotums. The scrotum? I think that's what he said, of a man. So the birth pain of a woman bringing a child forth is birthing the seeds of that man. Oh, woo! When he broke that thing down, and he broke it down deeper than that, I ain't gonna take you there, because every time I bring a video to you all, it's like it's not food for your spirit, because your spirit is like still drinking and sipping on water, and the water ain't even cold, but yet you still sipping on it. Okay, so I'm not going to give you that page, but me myself, he said some things in Genesis that I realized that he didn't have the fullness, and then the Spirit told me, ain't nobody gonna have the fullness, Deborah. Ain't nobody gonna have the whole fullness. So when he spoke, instant I pinned in on what he was saying, and I said, wait a minute, that there, he there, Father. I said, he right there, Father. Father, he right there. Let him open the door, Father. He right there, but he couldn't open the door. He right in Genesis, right there. Genesis chapter 1, but he could not open the door, because Yah didn't give him the key to open that door. So I, Sister Deborah, like to open that door, and I'm going to sling it open wide. How about that? How about that? So I want to go to Genesis chapter 1. And I want to show you here in Genesis chapter 1, the whole overall of what has been missing. You know how I said the ball has been dropped? Truly, the ball has been dropped, because here this elderly man is teaching in 2003 and teaching this message. Awesome. Did an awesome job. Awesome. And the Spirit of the Most High told me, they're not going to know it all, Deborah. Because in me, I'm like, why do I know it? And they don't. Why they don't get it? Why, I'm like that. But still, I salute this man, because he was all on spirit and truth. He just didn't have it all, but he had enough to run on in the lane in which Yah had created for him. And I salute him, because a lot of things he said was right on it. And he took what I said. I heard him, not took what I said. He says it the way I said, but in a different way, to where it's impossible for a man not to get. So I'm coming along trying to make it, put it in a way. And here he is. I realized in 2003, wait a minute, man, you spoke this 2003. We in 2005. What is going on? So I want to show you something here that the Spirit told me to wrap up. Okay. And that is in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. It said, and Yah said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Let them. The word them represent feminine and masculine. Okay. Meaning male and female. Okay. It's representing them. But what the Father want me to bring to light to you, that's the unity. You know how Sister Deborah make videos and be crying out, why we can't come together? Why can't we be unified? Why can't we get together? Why can't we be one? Why can't we do this together? Why can't we as a people come together? You know why? The ball was dropped in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. The way y'all orchestrated, it was for them. Them is more than one. Okay, so we first have to find out when the ball was dropped on them, what is that saying? That saying the form of unity was lost after they deleted them and made it him. This man brought it to the form where we should supposed to do things in the Most High Yah. Watch this here, as a oneness together. You see, I come to say to you all where I can come in on where he left off is to show you in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, where he said, and let them. Right there, that them represent male and female, but yeah, it's deeper than that. The Father come to you this morning, this early morning, to tell you it was always deeper than that. They dropped the ball, and when they dropped the ball, they dropped it hard. What do you mean, Deborah? When you look at the whole house of Israel, you realize they can never, ever, ever, ever come into one unity. They cannot come together because the ball was dropped again, like as I said, in Genesis chapter 1, because they dropped it out of the realm in which it was created. It was created for them. So it letting you know him, it was not, but them. What do them represent? Male and female. Male and female. Then after you can respect his order of creation of his image is feminine and masculine, then we go into the realm of them saying a unity. So the unity for the house of Israel been dropped since Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, 27, and 28. So because when you go into Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, let me say verse 26, 27, and 28, it shows you here, he don't say, let us make men, M-E-N. He said, man, let us make man, M-A-N. And he said, and he meaning male and female. So there goes the them. And them is a unity when it's male and female. So our form of coming together as Hebrew Israelites and as the whole house of Israel and as the tribe of Judah, it's only acceptable in the eyes of Yah when it is them, meaning male and female. But man dropped the ball back in Genesis chapter 1, and they took on them as him. And he did not make the image a him. He made it a him, a feminine and a masculine, or to work as one in the power of he that is created. All things. He is feminine and he is masculine. So they took the image of Yah out of the picture. And that was the only way we can come into a unity. That's why when you have a party, you have a gathering, even in among the families, no matter what you do, it's always chaos. We as a people, as a nation, cannot come together for nothing. For nothing. And people would tell, if they tell the truth of the whole matter, they will own that thing and salute that thing and say, that sister telling the truth. We can't come together to nothing for nothing. You know why? The Father want me to share with you because you couldn't come together based on his creation. He said he created them and you made it him. And when he gave them his image, it was feminine and masculine, and you turned around and made it masculine. So you broke the protocol of them, male and female. You broke the protocol and you made it about him and not feminine and masculine. Because it's impossible. He want me to say this to you. It's impossible. He want me to say this to you. It's impossible for you to take only the masculine entity of who he is without taking his feminine part of who he is to make up the whole unity. So the ball was dropped way back then. That's why it's like it is today. So I listened and I said, well, okay, Father, I'm going to go into Genesis, and I see it. And then he took me straight to where it's at, as it always been. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. When I say let them, there go the unity. You can't be a unity when it's only men. That's not the spiritual unity. You can't get men to rule the world and think that that's the unity of Yah. That's them. No. Them was created male and female, not him. It was them. You see the order and how it was taken out way back in Genesis? This is what you see today. Satan took it and made it about him when he knew Satan. It was in the garden, male and female, them. If there was a way we could go back and bring them two back into a oneness, Adam and Eve in the fullness, in the way that he created it, and you could just see really the image of Yah creating him and her as a oneness. So when you sit and you say, oh, devil, you going there right now. Go there. Take him there. Ooh, Father Yah. So Father want me to let you know where you know they have snuck in through the back door, the basement window, the side back windows, the side of the house windows, and under the basement, down through the crawl space, all in the basement windows they came through. They never came through the front door. Coming through the front door means spirit and truth. It means having the light, having the key to the front door, while everybody came through the back. Because in Genesis, if you think how the Jesuit had to smear and take away Eve domain in which Yah had given her of his image, he took it away. He destroyed it by making her be the downfall of his work. Let me explain to you why. So he took all out the feminine and left the masculine. The other day I was talking about Satan and how he rumbles and mimic Yah. I come to understand just right now at a quickening of the spirit within me, speaking through me, that he took it away in the garden because he stripped the protocol of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, 27, 28. He stripped the unity and made him. And that's how the world has been ran, by him. That's how thick the evil and darkness and wickedness, abomination, whoremongering, every wicked on the face of the earth came through men. Why did he do that? He stripped the garden he stripped out of the garden the protocol in the way Yah created it in the beginning. He came into the garden, and see, they got you thinking, oh, Eve was tempted. No. Adam was already won over because it made it about him. And they made him take a seat. Why is him taking a seat when him was given the order? Why is it that him is taking a back seat and her is being tempted by darkness while he that had been given the order is taking a back seat? Can't y'all see how the ball was dropped in Genesis 26 and Satan picked it up in the garden? And that's how the world is ran. Satan took the weakest link. Why? Why did he take the weakest link? See, the weakest link is the strong in flesh, but yet he is weak when it come down to in spirit. He want the men to think that they rule the female, because truly it's the opposite. He's weak in spirit and strong in flesh. So he said, well, I can win him over. See, y'all thought it was the woman. No, it wasn't. All you have to do is see the protocol from the beginning. Why are you going to put everything on her when it's coming out of him? So Satan knew that the seeds were in the man. So let me just get the man in my control and take the woman purpose of creation and use it to be the downfall. So the man that I poured in the garden can rule from this day on. Satan stole everything in the garden. And it wasn't that it was the woman. He took the woman's position out of creation by him choosing the man who holds the seeds. See, the woman didn't hold the seeds. Satan was after the one that was holding the seeds, which was the man that is in him. That's where the seeds are. What you mean the seeds? The world. Satan stole the world in Genesis from the man. That's why fathers is not in the home and not doing their position. They're not doing their righteous position. Why? Because they out of order. Only way you in order is in unity. What is the unity, Sister Deborah? Male and female. That's the unity, y'all. The way it was created in Genesis 1, chapter 26, 27, 28, them. That's the unity. That's why you can't find no unity in Judah. You can't find no unity in Israel. Because they dropped the ball and never went back to pick it up. And they running around here on corners talking about we the people, we the this, we the that, use a fool, and use a fool. So Sister Deborah is going to come back with this message at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to cover this thing big time. So come join me at 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to do this. Shalom and shalom.